Yeah. Loyalty, love your team, know they can't bribe us. You gon' see a lot of hatred when you prosper. I might start rapping, why? Cause we need more black doctors, lawyers, public defenders, and black honors.
My people top shelf, we the ones who need help. We the ones in poverty, so many killers and robbery. But you can't take my soul from me, and I love all of
Ooh. Episode 7. It's episode 7, y'all.
Oh, we on. Oh,
yes, sir.
I'm looking like, hold on, I'm waiting.
Wake us up then. We've been out of the game for a minute.
What up? Yeah, we have been out the game for a minute.
You know,
Sheesh.
we had a little good Valentine's Day. I'm pretty sure everybody did. I don't know, Zion, what you did?
Man, work
Oh, that's it.
Oh, how was your mama's birthday?
was fantastic. And then she turned 41, big 41.
Yeah, she was twerking on the ground.
Hey,
So,
if
Doing
you
the
ever go to
crybaby.
Glorious,
I missed
them
this.
drinks, it's busting.
Yo, the meltdown. Now, you only need 2 of those, and that's
2 of
it.
those?
No.
That's how it was
You
for
been to
Glorious.
It's the meltdown.
not Glorious. You been to Glorious?
Yes.
Boy, I like Glorious.
I had 5 Patron shots.
For real.
Yeah.
I
This is for everybody else, though.
I seen your receipt. Was
I
that just
did.
your receipt?
Man, bro, that's like the first big receipt I ever got in my life.
Big
Were you
spender.
able to walk out of there after?
Yeah, I was. I was good.
Boy, big spender.
Hey, y'all ever like after dark or something like Glorious turned into like a little
Like club a little bit.
Yeah, that's I might be thinking of the wrong place. Never
I
mind.
think
Never
you're in
mind.
the wrong place.
Okay, never
Because I
mind.
done stayed to the close.
Maybe the
And now ain't
vibe is
nothing
different.
happening.
Okay. Gotcha. What we got today, Z?
Man, we got a lot of good topics. The first one we have is, if you were a warning sign, what would it be?
I already know mine.
What's yours?
It's going to get me in trouble.
Man, how old are you?
There's no judgment zone.
It would say flirtatious.
Flirtatious.
I can see that.
Yes.
I can see that.
The thing is, like, I don't know. It's just fun to flirt and just know somebody, like, feeling me, kind of want me type thing.
Even if you don't like them.
Right.
See, I'm not going to flirt with somebody who I'm not attracted to.
Okay.
Like, you got to be cute, you know, and, like, somebody that's, like, my type.
I was about to say, you can
Yeah.
go kill yourself then. Don't flirt with me and then
Oh,
But the thing is...
don't flirt with me and then not have no
Right,
intention of
right.
liking me or something.
I know,
You got
that's
me
the thing
messed
that be
up.
getting me in trouble, though,
Yeah.
because people be trying to slide in the DMs and all that, and then now I got a boo, I be like, okay... It's
You
a
did it.
fine line. It's a fine line, so I'm working on it.
You can like flirt and like not mean anything of it, like just for like fun, but like you
Yeah.
don't want them to talk to you later. Okay.
Exactly. But then when I see him again, what's up?
But listen, you got to be careful, especially if it's somebody you flirting with that really don't get no attention. He gonna take that to the head, and then next
Yeah.
time you see you, he gonna be like, okay, maybe this girl was feeling me. I don't know, so he gonna try to,
Man.
you know.
And then some people try to throw out the whole card too. So yeah, they be like, bro, she was just talking to me the other day and she got a man type shit. So
Oh,
And all you
yeah.
said was hi. You just wave from
Yes.
across the room and they're
I
like,
hate
hey,
when
bro,
people be
I'm
calling.
just holding a friendly conversation, like
I hate when people be like, oh, she a hoe. Okay, did you hit? Well,
Right.
no. Hey, shut up.
nah,
Yeah.
she was entertaining
The
me.
definition is if a
Did you
person
hear?
have multiple sex.
Like, nah. What about you, Z? What's your warning sign?
I want to sign, I say it would be, man. If I really want to, I can sell a dream.
You sell a drink.
I can
Sell
sell
a
a
dream.
dream, man. I can sell a dream like it's my last dream.
So like it's not real, but like
I'm
what,
saying,
like some
like,
scammer?
shit.
like
type?
manipulative
Nah.
Yeah.
type.
Not like manipulative type. But it's like, shit, I want you, but I really don't. So shit, I'm like, shit, man, I'm finna buy you this, and that.
What, you one of them.
Yeah.
Promise you the world. Start off real nice, and then next minute go ghost.
They just
think-
get you a little globe.
I think that's the cancer, though.
No,
I think that's the cancer.
I ain't
In
with
me.
that. I hate that.
I think that's the cancer. I'm like, man, I can sell you the world.
Hey, I know another sign of his. Petty.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Petty. P-E-T-T.
Go hand in
Why?
hand.
But dude on the slick, though, like, shit, you won't notice.
B, what about you?
Oh gosh, you guys have time?
I'm gonna need you to get undrunk.
Go ahead.
Go down the list.
I'm trying to think like which one is the biggest. Dang, I feel like mine might be jealousy.
Oh, you jealous?
Yeah, but that's more like because of past issues.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not like I just became like
Still a warning sign.
jealous. Yeah.
What's something you be jealous of?
Ooh, just like you know when I just notice everything. Like, I hyperanalyze. Like, if they're looking in a girl's direction too long, or if they're liking too many half-naked photos, or if they're still, all up in their exes, this, that, and the other. Like, I get...
Those are red flags, except for, like, some girl saying hi to him. You gotta chill on that.
But you know what? The weird thing is that if I was to respond to a guy or something like that, I know that for me, it wouldn't mean anything. Like, I wouldn't think of it wrong. Like, I know I still want to be with my man and whatever, nobody else. I don't see anybody else. But if he was to do the same, I would be like...
But see, that's weird.
That's weird, yeah.
You would think it's the opposite way, because, like, guys, we like I said, we do a lot of stupid stuff for no reason.
That's what I really want to dive into the guy's brain about that, because I had actually posted something on Instagram, and it was about that. Like, I hate that whenever I see, a guy like so many half-naked photos, like, I just, get in my head about it. And so many guys messaged me, and they were like... This is so funny. Like, this always gets me in trouble. Like, my girl's always catching me liking photos. Like, Twitter's always snitching.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, I don't understand why y'all can't like that stuff in your head. Like, look at the half-naked girl and be like, oh, wow, she's cute, but don't give her that attention.
That's what I'm saying. You want her to know that you say, oh, this look good. I kind of like it. Why are you doing that? Just look at it and be like, it look good, and keep scrolling.
So y'all don't...
And girls are conniving too, so they'll walk in and be like, "Oh, he was liking all my photos."
Exactly, like her nigga want me. Yeah, because that's how I think. I be like, girl, your nigga like every single one of my pictures.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so, like, the way for me to get guys to understand is like, how would you feel if I did the same? Like, what if I was liking a bunch of photos of guys who, like, their thing was singing in the gray sweats,
I would think that it's the same thing that I'm thinking probably. Shoot, she got a naked ass out there, so I probably hit. I'm thinking that you'll probably try to hit him too, baby.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, why would the guys do it if they don't want us to do it?
And I feel like, every guy has done it. I know you married, so you being good, you single. I feel like, but still at the same time, both of y'all have liked some pictures. Why y'all like it? Why can't y'all just keep scrolling?
I don't know. I don't really just think about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really a deeper thought for us. It's just like,
that's what I've heard.
Ain't that what Instagram is for, though?
Huh?
Ain't that what Instagram was for? Is to like somebody's picture?
But it's certain types of pictures.
So y'all don't
Come
like
on.
pictures?
Yeah, but I ain't finna like the thing, and like she said.
If I'm in a relationship,
Yeah.
Or,
I'm gonna be honest. We don't. It's never that deep. Like, we don't think that far into
I
it.
think it
it's
is.
just a girl thing, maybe, because we
like-
overanalyze a lot, and everything's competition. It's just like...
That's true.
And you got some dudes who mean to like multiple of your pictures,
I
because
can
that's
see
their
it.
way of like
Yeah.
trying to
That.
slide. So
Okay.
y'all probably ain't trying to give out the game, but I know
So,
dudes
like-
do it on purpose.
So like,
No, I want to know. Tell me.
so like, if a dude like 3 pictures, that's like a sign that he trying to talk to you.
Yes.
I would say more than 3.
More than 3.
But for sure, in a row, like boom, 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 yeah.
I get what you're saying there.
Dudes have admitted that to me, like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
did that on purpose.
that could be true. Yeah, I agree with that. They just sitting there liking all your photos, and creeping down your profile and stuff like that.
Because they want you to like DM them
Yeah,
or something.
they want you
Yeah, they want your attention.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, I think that's
I'm working on it though. I really, really am. I'm trying to like separate my past guys that I've been with who have done me dirty, and like I've always had girls in their corner, behind my back, and like take it away and not put that on, the guys I talk to. But
Working on your trust
I'm trying. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all we can.
process.
Okay, cool.
Hope for.
What would be your warning sign?
And I really thought about this last night. Me and my wife. Calm and violent at the same time. That's probably my 2 warning signs, because you'll never see it coming. And I'm when you see me out and about, if you see me even de-escalating the situation, you'll think, oh, I'm real calm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which most of the time I am. I don't really get upset, but it's when I do, it's like I scare myself sometimes. So I could say calm and violent at the same time.
So what's
I
a
think.
scenario like you went calm and violent?
Oh man, so I had an ex-girlfriend, and me and her were just really getting into it, and the fact that I wasn't really reciprocating, how she was coming at me. I was just kind of sitting there while you cussing and all that stuff. I don't really, but I forgot what she said. It was something that kind of just triggered me, and the first thing I do, I'm messing up her car, like I'm acting like a broad or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Breaking her windows, kicking stuff in, like, you know what I'm saying? I done did some messed up stuff. And I'm just like, why would I even do that? Like, after I did that stupid stuff, I'm like, I'm acting like a female. I'm up here getting all emotional. Why I let her get to me like that? And it's because I never really vent. I never really have an outlet. You know what I'm saying? I kind of keep all that stuff in, and then when it finally lets out, it's just like a okay, I don't even know this person no more.
Explosion.
Who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why I'm like, okay, I'm calm and I'm violent. I think I did it once with Tamara. We got into a big old, I'm not even gonna go into that. We got into a big old argument before we got married.
Tamara crazy too, by the way.
She is, yeah.
But she don't seem like it though.
She don't.
At all.
It's probably why we fit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's probably why we fit. Listen, she's so crazy. One time we was going to so I had told her about this place called was it it's some type of like titty bar in Plano, right? Like when girls just kind of walking around.
Yeah.
Twin
Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
No, it wasn't
Hooters,
Twin Peaks.
No,
It wasn't
Twin Peaks
Hooters.
is close.
Knockouts.
It wasn't knockouts.
Bombshells?
Tight ends.
Tight ends. It was tight ends, right? So I told her, I said, tight ends is kind of like Hooters, right? I kind of exaggerated it. You know what I'm saying? Tight ends ain't. So her best friend named Adria, right, had said, girl, because I didn't lie to her where I was at. I just kind of, I exaggerated, about how they dress and stuff like that. And so man, me and my coworkers, we chilling, and then, I get a text. Samara say, hey, come outside. I said, man, you not here. Stop playing. I pull up outside, man. She said, no, before I pulled up outside, she said, you got 5 seconds to come outside or I'm coming in.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then I found out, what I'm saying, she waited to my coworkers. She was polite enough to wait till my coworkers to go back inside their car. They didn't even say goodbye to me. They just looked.
Yeah, like that.
They was like, oh, shit. I was
Yeah, he in trouble.
I'm in trouble. And then I was just like, golly. She was like, motherfucking lie, you up here talking about this is like Hooters. This shit ain't like Hooters. You damn near at a strip club and all that shit. I like it. I damn near at a strip club.
Got you in trouble.
So it was like, oh man. So yeah, that is the fact. That's the first time I was like, okay, she crazy.
She pulled up on you.
She pulled up out of nowhere.
Do you feel like her crazy is calculated though?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I feel like because me and her are the same signs, and then like all y'all are the same signs, and so I feel like y'all's crazy is like spontaneous, but I feel like Capricorn crazy is like we're gonna calculate how we're going to.
It is because she'll be mad at me about something, and then we'll wait till she have like enough evidence or something. Build it up a little bit, and then have like a whole profile on me right here. You know what I'm saying? Like she's that type of crazy.
See me, I go crazy off top.
Yeah. So I definitely understand that. My bad, we got too deep into that. What's the next topic?
That's a good topic.
But on that note, women find out everything.
Oh yeah,
FBI.
And it always come to us in some type of way. Sometimes we ain't even gotta go
by
looking.
accident. It'll find us. We don't need to find it.
FBI.
I've been caught up a couple times.
You might as well tell the truth because you're gonna get caught.
Yeah, straight up. What's the next topic, Z?
Can threesomes ruin a relationship?
Don't touch my man.
I think so. I think so. I think because everybody, especially if you. So if threesome might look good, you know what I'm saying, like on tape or on camera.
Yeah.
But when you're actually doing it and you really think about it, like, damn, somebody's penetrating damn, somebody's riding my man. Or you gonna be? I'm pretty sure a woman's thoughts gonna be like, is she doing it better than me? Why is he moaning so loud? Like, why does he?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, you get
So
it.
yeah, it can definitely ruin it. So it ain't for everybody. Don't just go into that thinking you can do it just because I think this girl attractive, baby. You might not be ready for what happens next.
See, I'm the type of person who's curious about it. Like, I've never done a threesome or anything.
Same.
But it's like, I'm like, ooh, like, what? How is it? What can happen? And then so, like, I brought it up to my boo. I was like, okay, what do you think about us doing a threesome? And he's like, so you okay with another girl, like, fucking me? And I was like, I never really thought about it like that. And so now I'm like, well, I really don't like the thought of that. But for some reason, like, I'm still intrigued. Like, let's try it. So it could. I think, but shoot, I don't know because I'm kind of interested. So,
are you a real jealous type?
I can be if it's put right in my face type thing.
Oh, that's definitely right in your face.
Yeah.
You can't get no closer than that.
All of a sudden, it's just gonna be like,
and my boo, he's the type. He's like, I don't want nobody touching you either. So I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
Right. And then we need to define that. So anytime I talk to a woman about this, and kind of it looks appealing, to have two women and a guy. They're like, okay, so what if I have another guy? Yeah. And I'm like, that's not a threesome, baby. You getting a train ran. I'm like, it's
okay, no, a
different.
train is more than two. That's just an Eiffel Tower.
No.
I feel like that's a double standard. Like, why can't there be two men and
because
a female?
there's two men penetrating you. There's not two women.
It's just three people. A train is more than that.
No.
That's when you have one person.
Yeah,
it's like
but you gotta hold on. But you gotta.
What the fuck?
So whenever you thinking about a train, right? You thinking about two. especially with two guys, there's two men penetrating you. That might be one guy got his thing in your mouth, and then another guy hitting you from the back. They're dominating you, right?
It's just because men don't feel comfortable being with other men. That's the reason you don't consider it a threesome, but it is definitely.
Correct, because that's just two people dominating one person. I'm not gonna do nothing with him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially if I'm not like that. So when it's two women, it's so much more open for another woman to do something with another woman.
Yeah, because women are more comfortable with other women.
I mean, but there are scenarios two dudes can mess around with each other. Is it qualified as a threesome then?
Yes.
It is.
It probably is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It might be. I mean, but are you gonna be looking at your guy different or your man different if he's messing with you?
I'm not that type of girl, but I'm saying.
Oh, there's definitely a double standard.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but
so if people say that they're okay, I was like, okay. So when that dude start humping your man and your man like it, don't start asking questions. That's what you wanted. This the threesome you wanted.
But that's something you talk about before y'all do it.
You should know which way he's going, okay?
You should be a surprise when y'all go in the bedroom.
It's going to surprise the hell out of you. After you leave that bedroom, you're going to be having some questions.
See, what I've heard is that if you're going to have a threesome, it has to be with people that you don't know and you're not, like, your heart isn't attached to them. Because then it's like that, you know, especially with girls, it's like, is she doing it better? I mean, we already think that about the people that you've been with before us. So imagine how we're going to think with someone who's in front of us. Like,
you know what? I mean, us guys kind of do the same thing, you know, like especially if I'm with a girl, because honestly, at this age, I don't really care about how many bodies you had. I'm like, okay, how far am I up in the ladder? Like, am I number one? Am I number two?
Yeah, guys
you know what
always
I'm saying?
asking that.
Like, I don't really care how many bodies. I'm just trying to figure out where I'm at.
Is it mine?
Yeah.
If you like, let me be honest.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
I can't tell everybody it's theirs.
Yeah. Listen, I tell girls that any girl I've had sex with, I say, man, don't tell me it's mine. It's just my turn.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Man.
It's just my turn. So
Shit, I feel like on the threesome shit, I feel like I gotta have a threesome with somebody I don't care about. That I don't give a fuck about.
yeah, because I've no friends
That's my
that kind of
point.
ruined their relationship. Like
Yeah.
she was watching her man, you know, hit another girl, and it's an uncomfortable feeling, especially if you don't really live that life.
Yeah. Because if I have a threesome with somebody I care about, I'm gonna look at you differently. Right after the threesome.
Damn.
I'm
Like
not
how
even
differently?
Shit, like, I don't even want to be with you.
Like you a toss type thing.
Nah, it's just like, I can't shit introduce you to my mama. We done had a threesome type shit.
So that just ruins everything. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can be attached.
Nah.
But what I've noticed too is that like the older that couples get, the more they start getting into that type of stuff. Like when I like bartended and stuff like that, I would get asked so much by older couples. Like, and I would be like, huh?
Trying to spice it up in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, just, you know, either be involved with both, or if I would be like, no, thank you, they would be like, okay. The guy would be like, well, I'll just watch then. And I'll be like, still, no, thank you.
Because
I'm honored.
So, and then we got to think about the scientific aspect of it. Whenever we're growing older and we're aging, women's testosterone levels, they start to boost, and guys' testosterone levels start to go down.
Wow.
So women are constantly getting, you know, hornier and stuff like that. Us guys, we kind of really don't approach it the same as we get older. Because I remember when I was younger, shit, I was telling Zion, I used to be able to, you know, go 4 rounds. Now I'm like, hold
Bunny
on,
rabbit.
Yeah. Like, now I'm like, okay,
Energizer
slow
bunny.
down. Slow down, baby. I can't. And then now my wife is older. She want to keep on going. I'm like, man, you ain't the same person a few years ago.
It's like the roles is reversed.
Yeah. I'm like, man, so when you get older, you got to be mindful of that. And that's why to spice up the relationship, to spice up, you know.
Yeah, you got to get creative. I
They try
don't
to get
knock it.
creative.
I mean, just make sure that person in the middle don't break up what y'all got going.
That's true.
They have those like little islands, don't they? The like couple islands, where
Sex
you, like,
islands.
yeah, where you like interchange couples or something.
Swingers?
Like that.
Yeah, like swingers.
They got swinger clubs.
everywhere.
I couldn't think of the name, but yeah.
They got
Palm Springs is known for swingers too.
Palm Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out
Well,
there.
when
in
I'm
case
65 out.
Really? Hey, I'm gonna be honest. Dallas is too.
Yeah.
Really?
Dallas Fort Worth area is. I mean, it's a whole scene of swingers. It really is.
Go to Harry House at 12 o'clock at night.
Boy, that's the
this-
blaze right
there's
there.
Man, what? That whole
There's this
strip.
club. There's this club called Colette's in Dallas that you gotta have like a membership to get
real?
in. Yeah, and it's like a straight swinger club.
Like in the movie.
I don't think it's glamorous.
She made it sound
Where they
so
wear
glamorous.
like Mardi Gras
movies.
masks and
Next time you
Red
see,
light.
right?
she's enjoying this a little too much.
How y'all feel about what Boosie said about Lori Harvey?
Did you do that on purpose?
Nah, I didn't know, actually.
He said, "Hori."
Wow,
I
hey.
didn't even catch
I did
that.
not mean to do that shit.
Corey Harvey.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. How do y'all feel about what Boosie said about Lori Harvey?
First off, can we address the fact that this man has already made like 3 videos and 6 posts about this woman, and
Yeah.
she has not said one thing about him? Like,
That's facts. Also, he has like 7 baby mamas. And he talking about multiple, like basically a woman hopping from man to man type shit. In that, like, basically he said like why are people praising her for like being a hoe basically?
well, it's a double standard though,
Yeah.
because men are allowed to sleep with as many women as they want to, and they don't get backlash. You know, it's just notches on their belt, and they hit this and they hit that, and then a girl, you know, she is free with her sexuality, and all of a sudden she's a whore. She's
But my
done.
thing
Like,
is, there's not even proof that she did fuck all these dudes. You know what I'm
and
saying?
she was dating
She's
them
just
too.
dating. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've dated multiple guys. You know, does that make me a hoe? No, I know I'm not a hoe.
I feel
So
like she's just living her life.
she just in the spotlight. That's it.
Because she's only
You know.
24. That's what you do when you're 24. You
Date.
date around people.
So I'm kind of conflicted, and the reason why is because whenever I'm listening to a message, I look at the messenger, right? You know, if I have a son, I don't want him to be anything like Boosie. And I love Boosie, I love his music. Don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying. But I wouldn't want him to be that way. I wouldn't want him to strive and go down that path. Do I agree with a lot of things that he's done? No. The only thing that he said that kind of conflicted me is because I do have a daughter. Is when he said, "Do you want your daughter to be like that?"
Yeah.
But how's she being?
So I don't have a problem with her dating around, but I do. It would, you know, raise some exclamation points when I found out that she dated a father and a son.
That was sketchy. I
That's
will
scary.
say.
That now when you
That
think about it
was-
like that, I'm just like, okay, do I want my daughter?
That is
But
weird.
you will not understand that until you have a daughter, until you looking at that little girl in the face. Because a lot of millennials that they going off about it and they don't have a daughter and they don't have to look at her every day. And the kind of example that you have to set, especially if you're trying to be like a real good role model. A lot of millennials like, oh, she just living her life, and which I don't have a problem with her dating around because
it was just
obviously
the dad and
And
son
then
thing.
it was that
And
situation.
then
understand
another
that.
thing too, she was engaged to a soccer French player.
Yeah.
And she left him for Threesomes.
Yeah,
Is that true though?
I think it is true.
Allegedly?
I think she was engaged.
I mean, she can be engaged, but that's still like, okay, people be engaged and then they don't get married all the time. That don't make you a hoe.
And,
it just
when
didn't
you're
work out.
when you're in the spotlight, I feel like time goes by so much faster. So there could have been months in between these relationships, years in between these relationships, but because it's all in the tabloids back to back to back, you know, and they keep running the same story over and over, it looks like she's just like hopping. you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Right, and that's why I say
Facts.
I don't judge her. I don't have any problem with that. That's just the only situation that kind of raised explanation points to me.
But
Like I was
also,
like,
like, look, you would have to. It was Diddy, right, and his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I feel like you would have to look at their family and be like, what made you okay with dating
It's
the
bad
same
on both
woman?
sides.
Yeah,
But
like
you
it's
gotta-
both parties are definitely it.
but yeah, and that's part of the double standards. Now there's gonna always be double standards. Everybody gets mad at double standard, but there's just like a double standard. If you hit me, if I hit you back, I'm gonna get more jail time. I'm gonna look like a bad guy. That's a double standard. That's bad on us, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's the same thing. If you look at him at that situation, you know, me and my cousin then did something with the same girl. We talk about it. And we had those conversations because niggas talk more than bitches these days. Let me be
Oh
honest with you.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
let's
yeah.
let's be honest. He probably daddy was probably talk to his son.
Word to
His son was just like,
I'm
let
gonna
me-
hit it real quick.
Yeah.
and his son was just like, oh, for real? Let
Yeah.
me see what that's about.
Yeah.
Those situations happen all the time. Don't think you're getting away with it, because I guarantee you they probably talked about it.
That's a good point. That's so true.
So
Oh,
and
they was
that's-
probably plotting.
so if you're asking me if I want my daughter to be in a situation where those conversations are being had, no, I don't. So that's the only part of me that's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I
But
get
as far as
that too.
as far as her dating around and doing this, I mean, I'm not worried about her coochie. You know what I'm saying? That's just
And
that's
he shouldn't be either, you know?
Right.
you know what I'm saying. And like I said, Boosie hasn't made some of the best decisions, and that's why I always look at the messenger before I listen to the message. That was just, but when he put it like that, and when you say that, it was like he was kind of aiming that message at all the fathers that are out there that are real fathers, because real fathers gonna think about that message regardless of who's the messenger and be like, what You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how it is.
I want to look at his baby mamas and see if they're like what their track record is. Because how are you going to sit here and talk about someone you don't even have a kid with? Your life is not tied to them in any way, shape, or form. But like, look at your backyard. You know what I mean? Like, how are things growing over there?
Right. So one thing that we all have to learn how to do, and I hate this because most of us say that we do, but we really don't, is to look at ourselves before, judging somebody else. And what I mean by that is, like, Jamie, if I ask you, hey, why aren't you married? And if you can't tell me a reason without blaming the man, you know what I'm saying, there's a conflict within yourself and you don't even realize it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Boosie probably should have did the same thing, and before talking about the Lori Harvey situation. Boosie, why aren't you married? Are you happy? I mean, you got a whole bunch of different women. You got 7 different mamas.
Exactly.
He didn't do that either. You know what I'm saying? That people really have a hard time doing that. And literally my mentor makes me do that. Anytime I'm talking about myself or talking about a situation, he makes me take the problem out first.
Yes.
Don't worry about the problem. We still got to work on the problem. We got to target the problem, but let's fix you right now. What's going on with you? What could I do better? No matter how it looks like the odds are against me, what could I do better to make this situation better? So people do have a hard time doing that. And Boosie, that's why I said you got to look at the messenger, because that's the only, I feel like when he said that, he was just targeting all those fathers out there that kind of think about it like, okay. Yeah.
And maybe that's something he learned over time. Like, he made all those mistakes in the past, but it's like now he's learned and he's like trying to just put out a message. I can see that.
But I feel like he set his daughters up for failure, because now when they get older, their lives are going to be scrutinized. And if they do something similar to Lori, people are going to bring this conversation back and be like, look at your kid now. And after everything that you say, you just jinxed it. And now your child is doing X, Y, and Z.
That's a part of being a celebrity, though. I mean, the spotlight's going to be on you.
Yeah,
but
regardless.
he put that out there. Like, he chose to get on Instagram 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And,
That's he made that decision.
Her, so.
You're right. He made that decision. But anyways, we didn't headbutt that much on it. We thought we were about to be fighting about it.
When you
we always expecting him to fight.
Always.
When as soon as he said he sided with him a little bit, I was like, this conversation is good.
But y'all see where I'm coming from. I'm like,
but okay, now that you've explained it, But I feel like that conversation could go definitely into another one for another day. But it's just like the double standard for kids, because when you have a daughter, you automatically think like, I don't want my daughter to be a whore. I don't want this. I don't want that. But it's like, why aren't you telling men not to do?
And why aren't you not doing those things?
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I said you got to look at the messenger too. Like I try to set the best example for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Can't speak for every man out there.
Yeah.
I can't.
Just got to warn her enough and hope that when she gets to that point in her life, she makes the best decisions based off what you taught her.
So whenever you're a father, you got to, especially when you have a little girl, you got to think about it like this. She either going to want a man exactly like you, or they want a man that's exactly opposite of you. You know what I'm saying?
Or she just don't have you in her life, period, so she don't know what she looking for.
So she don't know what she's looking for. Exactly. And that's where a lot of these little girls, especially fatherless little girls, get caught up in that image, because that's the image that's sold to them.
I hate that narrative, though, that like daddy issues, mommy issues.
It's
that
real.
Is put on someone.
But it's
real.
It's
it really
real.
does derive from that situation.
Yeah.
So listen, like, I'm talking fatherlessness right here.
Yeah.
Like, I could tell you.
It really is. It really is real. Because I promise you, if your daddy had been buying you roses at an early age, showing you how you should be treated, when a sucker guy come up to you and trying to spit in this game for you and start trying to buy you stuff to try to, buy you, you're gonna be looking like, okay, my dad does that for me. What else can you bring?
Yeah.
Or on the opposite end, it's like, if you don't have a father at all, like, as a woman, you're guessing. You're like, well, I like this guy, and if maybe he'll treat me like this, and that means he's treating me right, or maybe this, maybe that. This is what he should do. But you just don't have any basis.
You don't have any
So
basis.
you're just
Settle
running through all types of dudes. You don't know. You're following after them. Well, he does this, so I guess that's how a man is supposed to be. And that dude is a fucking idiot.
Yeah. that's true. Like, these are your standards. These are your boundaries.
You don't know.
And I'm sorry, you're allowing him to do that. So this is what he's gonna continue to do.
Because you don't know.
Because you don't know no better. So it does derive a lot. It really does. My bad, Z.
we gonna have a daddy mommy issues episode.
Yeah.
Bring a tissue.
All right, so the next topic is, what's the rules of DMing in a relationship and situationship?
You tell us, Z. What's the rules?
What's the rules? Shit. Females and males, they gonna do what they want to do. So it's all about how you respond to them. To me, like me, I don't even want you responding to them because that's entertaining. So don't.
Faithful girls don't respond.
Faithful girls don't respond.
They don't respond at all.
Exactly. So
But
don't
you
even.
know what? I'm gonna be honest. I told y'all like I'm flirtatious. So if a dude slide in my DMs, I'ma just. Well, now I don't do it because
I don't even what you're saying. Thank you.
But previously before this, I was like, shit, like this is fun.
Nah.
You know?
Because Bailey, what did you tell me the other day? Was it not even the other day? It was an episode or two ago. You was just like, by me responding, you know, I'm giving that woman the okay to think that she could still get with me.
Yes, exactly. It opens up room to so much. And girls, honestly, we are a lot worse than guys. And like, okay, so for example, like, I just had this conversation because the person I was talking to, some girl commented on what he posted, right? And it was harmless at first, you know? And then he was like, yeah, this, that, and that. And then she, I think it was something about food. And then she was talking about how, like, she would have done it this way. And he was like, oh, yeah, you know, that sounds good. And then she was like, yeah, you know, like, I aim to please and da-da-da. And, like, all of a sudden, like, the conversation just flipped and it was just, like, sexual. And I was like, you realize that this happened because you kept responding. And so she thought that she could keep talking to you. Exactly. And then it's just all of a sudden you're talking about pasta and the next thing it's sex. Like,
and that's the thing. You gotta cut that shit off. Like, you know, from my perspective, like I said, just flirting, like in DMs and stuff like that. I've stopped recently. I just want to give a disclaimer. I stopped because my boo don't like that shit, and that's not cool to me. But at some point in time, it was like, okay, I can ride this till the finest line, and right when I feel like it's inappropriate, then cut it. If you keep going after that, you dead ass wrong. Like, that's not cool.
What you think, Pop?
I ain't riding shit. Nope. I learned my lesson.
Turn your comments off. Put that shit on disabled.
You know what I'm saying? I think that even if I turn my comments off, she's gonna look at me and think I'm doing something.
Yeah, because she's gonna be like, "Why you got your comments off?"
Right. She gonna look at me and ask those type of questions, right? How am I supposed to respond?
That's crazy how women think though, like that. Like,
I'd rather see it on the comments though, because everyone can see the comments. It's the DMs that's secret.
Yeah. And she got access to all my stuff. But if she sees a girl DMing me and I don't give her, no response and stuff, that's just gonna make her feel like, oh yeah, my man, you know, he doing the right thing and stuff like that. So, and trust me, I've been in a situation where I've responded and obviously it led to something else, and the girl was, trying to shoot a shot. Yeah. So I learned my lesson,
Exactly.
Because the first thing that my wife had asked me, she ain't worried about what she said. What did you say back to her? Like, what did you?
Yeah, what did you say?
You know what I'm saying? It's just like if somebody was okay, this guy was talking mess about me. Okay, how did you defend me? You know what I'm saying? So somebody's gonna always put that right back on you, and so you always gotta be looking at what you could have did better. And what I was talking about earlier, what you could have did better in the situation. The best thing that I can do in this situation is not respond to your ass.
Exactly, and I think it's not even like to the point you're doing it for yourself. It's for your partner.
That's
like
respect.
It may be harmless to you, and you think it ain't gonna hurt nothing, but if your partner saw that, they get mad. And then if whoever you flirting with, they finna go have bragging rights and talk about you all around the town. So it's just safer not to do it.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely like a communication thing. You definitely, when you start talking to someone, need to sit down and talk about like what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. Like, how do you feel about it? Do you mind if I say thank you? Do you mind if, does that hurt you? Whatever. And then go from there. I think the only times I ever respond is if like the guys messaged me like 8 times and I'm like, bruh, it's not. I'm not.
Yeah, cut it.
Yeah, then I'll be like, okay, I need to step in and say something. But otherwise, I really don't even open it or read the message. If it's a compliment. Now, if they're like, oh, that necklace is cool. I want to buy it for my girl. Where'd you get it? That's a different story.
Okay, yeah.
Then
I wouldn't mind
that's
that,
a different
yeah.
story of replying to it the opposite sex.
Right.
But yeah, if it's a compliment.
Yeah, what about you? You respond? Would you respond?
So what? DM? Nah.
Do girls slide in DMs?
You ask this like all the time.
Okay.
And Arizona say yes.
Listen, I'm listening. I'm living in this old-fashioned world, this old-ass soul. Sometimes y'all don't pay attention to me. I swear I'm like a traditional.
So how y'all feel about the B. Simone situation?
B.
Her voice annoys me so much. So she was talking about basically thinking about the man that you want and writing down all the list of things that you need to be in order to get that man and manifesting it, which I feel like there's like a half truth to that. This is the first time I think she's spoken that I haven't like turned off what she was saying immediately. But I do feel that like, or she was saying like, you know, if you want a man with money or if you want a smart man, you don't even have a degree. You don't even have this, you know, like how are you supposed to expect something and you don't even, like, what do you bring to the table? And I feel like that's kind of right. Like, you know, like if I'm not mentally healthy, how do I expect to be with someone who's mentally healthy? You know, if that's something that I really want. Or if I am uneducated, how am I supposed to expect to be with someone who is educated and has their life together, this and that, and I'm, you know, falling apart over here? I just feel like there's a middle, because there's definitely so many couples who are like apples and oranges, you know, they're day and night, and they fit together so well. And I think it just depends how much you mind, you know. Like, I'm at the point in my life where I wouldn't want someone who, and that may be rude of me, but I don't want someone who I have to put together because I just finished putting myself together. You know what I mean? So I can't help him. I can't be the mom.
Yeah,
basically.
I get that.
I don't want to be someone's mom.
true.
You
And
know
see,
what I mean?
that's a really good topic to discuss, because a lot of the times women get caught up in their list. They may be all those things on that list, but then they also expect their man to be every single thing on that list. And the thing is, like, nobody's gonna match that. Sometimes the person you run into and you just so happen to fall in love with is nothing on that list. So it's like, do you stop talking to them then because of that?
Yeah.
At some point in time, you know, you have to stop and think like, okay, he's not everything that I want him to be, but you know, we can work on that. And that goes back to the fact that some females be like, I'm not finna build a nigga. Like, I'm I'm not your mama type thing.
Yep.
You know, but sometimes you just gotta be down to earth about it and leveled about it, because you never know who your man is. He may be kind of nothing right now, but he may be that nigga if you just help him elevate some. And so I used to be that female too, just like, I'm not building a nigga type shit, but now I've learned that not everybody's perfect. So
And look at you, now you're happy.
Some people need that push,
look.
that motivation to go hard.
Yeah.
You gotta like look at it though as to what can you elevate and what is something that they have to do for themselves.
Yes.
You know, now if it's like communication skills we're working on, then like, okay, you know, if it's what's the code of being in a relationship, you know, and you've been single your whole entire life, that's something I understand. But, you know,
So
There's some things you like,
there's
I'm
some
just
things
not.
and you're just like,
Those are the deal breaker things, you know? Yeah.
So, man, I was talking to, you guys know, I was talking to a woman friend the other day, kind of going over a little subject like this. And she was talking about, you know, how B. Simone said, you know, you got to manifest yourself into, you know, how to help, you know, that man, or to be a better, pretty much a better help me for that man. She didn't really agree with it. She was like, nah, he need to be this, he need to have his own. And so I was like, okay. I just listened to her talk. I said, you a Christian?
Yeah.
She said, I mean, yeah. I was like, so you pray, you believe in God, you do all that? She was like, yeah, you know, 100%. And was just telling me how she go to church and all that stuff. I said, hey, that's great. I said, you know, my problem is, she said, what? I said, when people pick and choose what part of the word they want to, you know, live their life by. You know what I'm saying? That's my problem. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, in the Bible, it spoke that Eve was a helpmeet to Adam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She learned how to be a perfect helpmeet to Adam. It said man should not be alone. You know what I'm saying? So when she says you got to manifest yourself and how to be pretty much a helpmeet to him, people don't a lot of women, especially a lot of millennials, will not sit there and really try to understand that, because they want to, you know, do the whole women empowerment thing. And I love the fact that we're empowering our women, but the fact that women don't know how powerful they really are. There's a reason why women were put under double covering. There's a reason why that men aren't put under double covering, because the glory of a woman was the only thing that could match the will of God. And when I say that is, so picture you on your phone, right? But you're supposed to be doing something important. But you see a big booty girl pop up on your post. You might stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
People don't understand that's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's the woman's body has so much glory that it can match the will of God. And that's why the enemy tries to use that. And he's getting better at using that, you know, as the days going on. But the fact that I read the word and I try to get a better understanding of it, that's why I understand that. That's why my wife understands that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any problem with a woman trying to empower herself. But I have a problem with a woman that's saying, you know, I'm half Christian. When really, if you want to be married, you have to learn how to be a perfect helpmeet to him. You have to. So that's why I agree with a lot of things that she did.
I think that it depends how you interpret it, because I feel like even reading through comments on Twitter and stuff like that, half of the people were like, yes, I do agree. You know, you do have to compliment your man. You guys have to be on the same level somewhat in certain areas. But then I think there were some people who kind of misinterpreted it and took it as like, we have to be the best. We have to be great. Guys just have to show up, you know? And it's like, it's not, that's not, I don't think that's what she meant. And I also think
exactly,
she normally says some stuff that's just outlandish that most people really didn't take her seriously when she kind of put this out there. But I mean, for me, growing up, you know, our culture is like cook, clean, have babies, you know, the men are the breadwinners, and it's just like puzzle piece.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. You know, they're out working all day, we're cooking, cleaning, and it's just like you fit, you know.
Yeah, now, and I, you know what I'm saying, and I wouldn't go, because I'm not a sexist, I wouldn't go as far as just saying, hey, just stay home, cook and clean. That's the best way you can help me. No, I wouldn't
not
go
that
back.
simple.
It's not that simple. I wouldn't go back and say that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want anybody to interpret that message that way.
That way, yeah.
But you still have to learn how to be the perfect help me for him, for your partner. You have to.
Yeah.
And if you can't look at yourself and if of me saying this, you know, brings you any type of conflict in your head and you kind of want to go against it, that's fine. But don't tell me you want to get married and you doing this and I'm looking forward to get married. No, you're not, because there's certain things about what you're doing right now that you're not ready to give up.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly okay.
Like going out.
Yes, that's perfectly okay, because you got to be okay with a man say, hey, baby, I'm not comfortable with you wearing that.
Yeah.
Well, baby, you insecure. But you know what I'm saying? Well, you got to do with insecurity.
Yeah.
Because that's a part of that covering. Why God put double covering. That's why you're covered by God, and that's why you're covered by your husband.
Yeah.
Because of the glory of a woman and how powerful she really is. It's the only thing that can match the will of God.
So
also, I want to say one more thing. It's like, with that list, you also need to reflect on it. Like, what does that list look like? Does it look like, oh, he need to drive this car, he need to have this much money, blah, blah, blah.
But you don't even have a car.
But it's not even that. It's like, you're not talking about anything internally about him. Like, is he a gentleman? Does he believe in God? You know, is he understanding? You know, those types of things need to definitely be on your list, because that's the core of, you know, a successful relationship, not the materialistic things. If you have those core spiritual values and characteristics about yourself, you'll be able to grow into, you know, your dream and what you want him to be for you, vice versa.
And then whenever, if Tamara is trying to tell me something, and whatever she's trying to tell me, you know, and I'm too stubborn to listen, I tell her, okay, if I'm not listening, don't go to me no more. Go to God. He'll take care of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who's directly over me in that household. Go over God, he'll take care of it, and it'll get taken care of. And every time she does it, I always have like a change of heart. I change of mind. You know what, baby? I should listen to you. I don't know what it is, but whenever you build a covenant like that, that's in your marriage, and it's your basis is God, I promise you'll do nothing but grow.
Yes.
I promise you.
that.
Like, seriously, I tell her all the time, dude, if I'm being too stubborn about something, stop going to me. Go to God. He'll handle me.
Yes.
Straight up.
Or show her something maybe that else that she needs to see. But going back off what Jamie was saying about your list shouldn't just be material. You'd be surprised how many people don't mind. You know, that's all they want when they look at a husband. It's just money. Can you provide me a roof? I don't want to work. You know, can you give me food? Can you give me a nice car? Can you give me clothes?
There are a lot of people
And
that don't mind.
they don't mind if there's no love attached. You know, like, I mean, the whole, I don't want to say the wrong words, but like, you know, of women who date rich older men in hopes that they'll pass to get in all their inheritance. You know what I mean? They're not with them for love. You know, they looked at their list, they found their list, they found it in this man, you know, getting ready to pass, lots of money, no heirs. And, you know.
And that's the part I don't agree with.
Yeah,
But
that just
Because if you keep wanting all this money, I promise you that'll never
fulfill you.
It'll never fulfill that hole that you have in you, that wanting, that need, that real love. Just because you have a lot of money, you're gonna have billions of dollars, right? And it still will not be able to fill that hole. And that's why I try to tell people all the time, like, I'm not telling you not to get your money and be successful, but I'm saying you're gonna have to find something with a core value that's really gonna fulfill you, and it ain't money, because money ain't nothing but a tool. It can either it ain't gonna do nothing but increase the person you already are. So if you're a selfish bastard, you're gonna be even a bigger selfish bastard with all that money. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. It's a tool, and you gotta use a tool like how you need to.
if you in love with money, you just gonna keep chasing that. That's how you're gonna chase. You're gonna have an empty life. But
Oh, whoa, shit,
Yeah,
it
good.
got a little deep in here. Okay,
Straight.
my bad. It got a
I'm
little.
trying to cut the discussion. It's been a long topic. I like it, but
I like it. Okay.
Y'all want another serious topic or what? Y'all want to save it for next podcast? It's up to y'all.
we can do another
We
one.
have time, right? Yeah.
Do we got time?
Yeah, we got time.
Yeah,
All right, so serious topic is how did the poor parts of the DFW were affected by the hardest of the storm? So like how did the storm affect like the poor parts of the DFW?
Jamie, can I talk about our conversation on the way in here?
yeah.
So I asked Jamie, I was like, how long have you been without power? And she was like, girl, I never lost it. And I was just like, what? You know, and I mean, she's close to areas that need power. So, of course, she had power.
The hospital, fire station, so our power stayed on because they had to stay on.
Yeah, I didn't want to say too much because I didn't want to, like, give out where you live or anything like that. Maybe, okay.
Bougie Jamie. Nah, I'm playing.
Cash out Jamie. No, serious matter.
And then I'm over here like, I haven't had power since Monday. The floors above us caved in. We didn't have water either. Pipes are bursting. We still don't know when we're going to get power. Other areas I've seen, you know, haven't had any. People in the areas I feel like where they're not as educated are bringing things inside the house to keep them warm. You know, rest in peace to the family who was on the news about the 3 little kids and the grandmother who was in the fire. And it's just like things like that shouldn't be happening, you know, and this all could have been avoided. This all could have been prevented if our government had done better at caring for its people rather than, you know, protecting and wanting to do whatever they wanted to do. But I just think that it's so sad that I felt like they picked and chose what parts were going to be okay, and you know what parts got the outages the longest, and what parts they were choosing to put back together, and which parts they were choosing to just, you know, kind of leave and let them struggle. And it's like, how are you going to tell us that we're on a water boil and we don't even have power to boil water? You know?
Yeah. For me, I don't think it was a poor neighborhood or richer neighborhood type of thing, because I only say that because my aunt, she basically lives in like some apartments that there's gunshots every day. It's basically like the projects type of thing. And her electricity was on this entire time. I think that it mattered of the location of where you live. I feel like the main priority of the Dallas, you know, government, whoever was controlling the electricity, was how far you or how close you were to a hospital, fire station, police department type of thing. And I feel like everybody else was kind of like, maybe not type thing. You'll get some electricity. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I did hear some hospitals in Houston, I think, where a children's hospital was out of power, and there's a bunch of kids waiting for dialysis, and they can't get it because they don't have water.
I can't really speak too much on it because I guess I haven't done too much research. I was out of power. I was going through the whole little rolling blackout thing.
And you live in a nice area.
And I live in a nice area. I'm just lucky my water was still on, and I still had the things around the house to keep going. Like, I just lit up the candles. I knew where to put it. Me and my wife knew where to put it in the house, so you know, we can get the heat circulating, because you know heat rises. So I'm thankful that we knew how to survive it.
Yeah.
You know, there's some people that don't know. So honestly, I didn't lose any comfortability because my house was hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the cold, my house was hot. So I thank God for that. But I do, you know, I am praying for the families that, you know, got it a lot worse. You know, and I'm not a big news type of person, because I believe in, you know, like Denzel said, well, you know, if you read the news, you're misinformed. If you don't, you're uninformed. But I do think that you still gotta read a little bit to have some type of information. So when I did go into it, and I was just looking at people's apartments being flooded and all that stuff, I was like, dang, I ain't go through none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely,
Blessing.
yeah, my prayers do go out to those families.
They're not like helping us either, really, in any way. I mean, even it's so funny just being in school through this. It's like there's people who literally can't go home, don't have power, and we have exams still. We have this still. We can't study still. And I literally have an email from one of my professors, and it's just like, I don't know why you would think that things would be canceled. Like,
horrible.
You might not have water, but you have power. So, and it's, you know, like not everyone has power just because you have power.
Yeah.
And it, like, the school literally had to send the professors emails and tell them, like, you guys need to stop because there's kids going crazy at us because they are trying to find out where they're going to stay. Because, you know?
You think they worried about freaking homework,
Right.
Right.
Throw that damn homework in your face. Shut up.
Yep.
I mean, also, the roads were like horrible. Okay, you're stuck. Basically, you don't have electricity, you don't have any water, and then you can't go anywhere because the roads aren't cleaned up. It's like the least the city could have done was just clean up the roads so we can get to a warm place. They said we have all these warming stations and things, but then people slipping and sliding on the roads, like, it don't make sense. It's horrible.
Yeah, no, that's true. I definitely don't think it was handled correctly. But I don't know enough to speak on it. So.
Yeah, that's why I'm so quiet. So I don't think I'm just too cool to talk.
It was just handled very poorly, and we knew the winter storm was coming. And like I said, the least the city could have done was just cleaned up the roads.
Yeah,
and they couldn't even do that.
Yeah, we did know it was coming.
See, when I was in Dallas, the roads were, you know, being cleared out, and then you go to like the sub-cities around, and it was like they just forgot about them, and I was just like,
I stay like 5 minutes from downtown, and all the roads was iced, snow everywhere. It was only the highways that were cleaned up. I'm like, well, we can't get to the highway.
Yes, yeah. And some things there were some things that I was opened up to that I didn't even realize I guess would be affected, and it's like, you know, my stepmom, she's pregnant right now, and she has pre-gestational diabetes, and she couldn't get her AccuChecks because CVS was closed or whatever, you know, and it's like, how are you going to shut down places like that, you know, provide people so much stuff, you know, like my grandma couldn't get her diabetes medicine. Like, it was just like, you know, and you're living day to day not knowing, like, is this medicine going to last? When is it going to open up?
Well, see, that goes back to transportation, because the people who are running those pharmacies couldn't get there, so it was forced to shut down. It's like, once you shut down transportation, everybody's fending for themselves.
That's true.
And I feel like once that pileup happened, they should have gone into like protective mode. That like 100 car pileup or some in Fort Worth, I think it was. I feel like that should have been a big red flag.
Yes, they can't drive in this. They don't know how to drive.
Yeah, that they needed to shut things down like right then and there.
Because that was like the first sign, huh?
Yeah, that was the first big thing.
Yeah,
that's true.
that was crazy. I've lost a lot of respect for Texas after this. And you know, the person that I was with he's from out of state, and you know, he's like, what the heck is going on here? Like, Texas is literally like on fire. Like, you know, where he's from, there's snow, and it's just like they have all these protocols in place. And I mean, I know we don't get snow a lot, but like I
think that's what it is, because we're not used to it.
We could have learned from those cities. Call them up, ask them what they did.
What did you do? Please tell me the tips and tricks, because we're not okay over here.
We was definitely not prepared.
We was not prepared
At all.
At all. Texas gonna hold that L.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know how so many people are gonna come back from this. Like, I feel like this is like another huge add-on to the pandemic that we're already in, and everything we're already going through. Like, I can't see when it's gonna end. You know, like when things are gonna come back from this for a lot of people.
People who don't have renters and homeowners insurance. Like, yeah, it's your responsibility to have that, but you know, with the pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs and they can't.
How are you going to pay for damages? How are you going to pay to get your car fixed if it messed up, you know, in the snowstorm? Your job was affected, you know. There was a women's shelter I saw that fostered battered and abused women, and their roof caved in, you know, and things like that. Like, those are so helpful to so many people, and they're not funded, you know, like they get donations, but it's like if you don't get a donation, you're not standing anymore. So it's just
it's a heavy situation.
You got everything off your chest, Bailey?
Sorry.
It's all good. No, it's all good.
You know, this is I feel for so many people, and I hate whenever situations like this happen and you can't
you can't
help everyone. You know,
That's
it
true.
just it gets me hot.
That's true. Jay, you want to end it off?
Yeah, I got a little inspiration for y'all. Kind of just came to me because it's something I realized I was doing is don't compete with your old best self. I feel like for me personally, there was a time in my life, that I reflect back on, where I was just like this spiritual being. My skin was great. I was just happy, positive, great. And then as time progressed, like I started to grow and change, and I wasn't that person. And so for a long time, I was trying to get back to that person. I'm like, Jamie, you're never gonna be that same person. You may have little bits of it left, but you're not. So just for everyone, don't compete with your old self, because you'll never be that person. Work on being the new you and the best you.
Right. Okay. I like that.
I like that too.
I like
That was a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
On that note,
Well.
does he want to wrap it up?
Man, hey, it's a great episode. Episode 7.
It is a great episode.
I don't know what to say.
She kind of blew your breath away, huh?
Yeah. Hey, go ahead and hit the ASKFM link below in the YouTube description. Make sure you ask us questions. That really helps us on what y'all want us to talk about.
And y'all make sure y'all follow that our Instagram page and now our Facebook page. So
for the people, it's
it's just for the people.
For the people, on both Instagram and Facebook. And we will be doing we're looking into doing putting it on Apple Music and Spotify, so stay tuned for that. So I know that's gonna help out a little bit, so y'all can be on the go with it. Y'all ain't gotta just be on YouTube, hold your phone. Y'all can just put it in your pocket, put on the headphones,
Work
just
out.
ride, work out.
Yeah.
Convenience. Yeah.
So
Listen to us banter.
Yep.
Well, shoot. On that note,
yes,
peace and love.
Yep.